Oregon's governor is issuing a statewide mask mandate again. She's also announced that state employees will be required to get vaccinated.
And the changes come on the day Oregon sets new record highs for COVID cases and hospitalizations. Here's Pat Doris.
Governor Kate Brown's executive order will plunge Oregon back into wearing masks almost everywhere we gather inside other than our own homes. It's not a popular move in many circles, but public health doctors like Ann Loeffler with Multnomah County say it is exactly what is needed.
I'm thrilled that she's done this. I know this was a super hard decision. It took a lot of courage. Oregonians have actually been great at stepping up and doing the right thing, and they kind of are done being told what to do. This will make a big difference in slowing down the epidemic.
Part of what's driving the governor's decision is graphs like this. It's for Jackson and Josephine County, and it shows how many people are hospitalized from that area with COVID. The previous winter spike reached 69 people, but August 9th, it was 119. The statewide number doesn't look much better. The winter high point for hospitalizations in all of Oregon, that top line, was 662 in November before the vaccine. And now with the vaccine, August 9th has reached 592 people. Researchers at OHSU say we should expect the numbers to keep climbing and that by September 7th, if nothing changes, Oregon hospitals could run out of beds in a big way, ending up as much as 500 short.
We are seeing a drastic increase in patients hospitalized due to COVID-19.
Take a look at what they found in July. New cases for vaccinated people are on the bottom, unvaccinated are that top line. It's 6 times higher than the bottom line and heading almost straight up. Data scientist Peter Graven from OHSU crunched the numbers, and he worries it may keep going until Oregon reaches herd immunity, and that would mean a lot of sick people.
It's a sizable population in Oregon. I would say, we have about 1.2 million people who are still susceptible. If they all got infected at once, which is kind of what we're looking at right now, we do not have room for the share that need the hospital.
The governor didn't offer many specifics on her mask mandate. We expect to learn more tomorrow at a news conference. She also said today that she's going to require most state employees to be fully vaccinated by October 18th. In Northeast Portland, Pat Doris, KGW News.
As COVID cases go up, school districts, large and small, are adjusting plans for the fall. Last week, the Oregon Department of Education and the Health Authority announced face coverings are required in all K-12 indoor school settings. For the Umatilla School District in Eastern Oregon, that was a big change. Superintendent Heidi Seip says they had just announced masks would be optional. Some parents there are frustrated about the new policy.
And they know that I will advocate successfully for local control again, and I have been doing so. But until that time comes, we will follow the rules. And so we still have our plan ready to go as soon as local control is restored.
Meantime, in Oregon's largest district, the superintendent for Portland Public Schools has voiced support for directives from public health experts. In Washington, Vancouver Public Schools will require masks for staff and students.
Now, we are expecting to see temperatures rise near 100 starting tomorrow. Oregon is under a state of emergency right now because of this heat wave coming this week. Meteorologist Joe Ranieri joins us now with a little more. Joe.
Hey there, Dan. Yeah, we're going to be seeing some very hot conditions here in the next 24 hours. Out in the Columbia River Gorge, it's right around the mid to the upper 70s right now. Here's a live look from the Oregon Veterans Home out there. Temperatures are in the upper 70s now, but believe it or not, we could be close to 30 degrees warmer heading into the next 24 hours across the metro area. That includes right here in downtown Portland. 91 is the temperatures throughout much of the metro area. I'm forecasting the potential to see record heat for tomorrow, Thursday, and into Friday. And because of that, we do have some watches and warnings out there. The heat advisories will start to take effect here by tomorrow afternoon. Now, we're currently seeing daytime highs in the low 90s, 93 in Portland and Troutdale. A little bit warmer over in Wine Country with a temperature of 94, and over in the Dalles earlier today you saw temperatures in the low 100s. So it gets hot tomorrow, anywhere from 98 to 103 degrees. The peak heat will be on Thursday afternoon. I'm forecasting highs anywhere from 100 to 105. There's also the potential of seeing some wildfire smoke. Now, if that does materialize, we could be seeing our temperatures just a little bit cooler. I'll talk more about that in about 10 minutes.
Thank you, Joe. And as a result, 211 and other organizations are working to make sure that this heat wave isn't like the one we saw in June. During one day of that historic and deadly heat wave, 211 was not open and missed about 750 calls. Lawmakers have now approved funding to keep it open 24/7. This is what CEO Dan Herman told our Galen Edlin.
We were not pleased with our experience in June. And I think collectively as a system, there was a lot of learning and a lot of improvements to be had.
What's different this time, would you say?
We're much more on point. We understand the severity, we understand the complexity, we understand the impact.
Okay.
Since COVID began, 211 Info has about tripled its staff to 180 people and recruited help from dozens in the National Guard. This week, it collaborated with organizations ahead of time to streamline extreme heat resources, including more than 240 Oregon cooling centers. And we have all of that linked for you on KGW.com. The gun violence in Portland is getting worse. 2 people were killed in a mass shooting this morning. Devin Haskins went to the latest crime scene in Northeast Portland to find out what happened.
Portland police say the shooting happened just after 5 o'clock this morning. The deaths are the 57th and 58th homicides in Portland this year. We talked with a woman who says her family members were among those that were injured. Listen to this. A home security camera records the volley of gunfire early Tuesday morning. The chaotic sound of flying bullets woke up the neighborhood.
It really just came close to home when it's literally outside of my door. It sounded like the gunshots are in front of my house.
Police say 2 people are dead, but they haven't said who they are. At least 3 others were injured and taken to the hospital by ambulance.
They heard the first shots, fired.
Litzy Bolano says her mom and grandma were injured in the shooting. Bolano says her mom was getting in her car earlier this morning when it happened.
She has a bullet in her arm, like towards her wristish, kind of. My grandma, she ended up getting grazed in the head with the bullet. She ended up getting some stitches of that.
More than 8 hours later, detectives were still at the scene collecting evidence. One officer tells KGW they served a search warrant on this RV, saying it was related to the shooting, but couldn't say in what capacity. 58 homicides is the most the city has seen in over 2 decades, and only 12 shy of Portland's all-time high of 70 set in 1987. Portland police say the detectives out at the 82nd Avenue shooting are the same detectives investigating the other homicides, such as the deadly shooting aboard the TriMet bus just 2 days prior. Portland police say they've increased the amount of detectives in the homicide division from 10 last year to 16 this year, and they're hoping to add more.
Just to try to keep up with the number of homicides that we're experiencing in Portland.
I hear gunshots on my street probably at least once every 2 weeks.
And while some say gunshots are nothing new, Bolano says the street she grew up on isn't the same anymore.
I can't even trust my mom walking outside to her car in the morning, without the trauma that it's going to cause afterwards. I hope people change.
In Northeast Portland, Devin Haskins, KGW News.
The Multnomah County Sheriff's Office says they've made their largest weapons raid in agency history. It happened at the end of last month. The Sheriff's Office just released these pictures you're looking at now. Deputies found 337 weapons, including machine guns, at a home in Clackamas County. Deputies also found meth in the house. This raid comes after an investigation in June where deputies found 44 illegal guns at a home in Gresham. One man was killed and another was critically injured in a pair of shootings in Vancouver. The first happened about 10:25 last night at the Columbia View Apartments. That's on East 5th Street. Police say a man was gunned down in the parking lot of that large complex. He was rushed to the hospital, but he died from his injuries. The other shooting happened just 20 minutes later and 2 miles away at the entrance to the Thunderbird Village Apartments. Someone shot a man sitting in a car there. He was critically injured. Back at the scene of that first shooting, one resident said that she heard gunfire outside of her building.
All of a sudden, I heard like a pop, 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 and then a couple more. It was super loud. It was crazy. So I hit the ground and then I called 911.
So far, police say they don't have evidence that the 2 shootings are connected, and at this point, they've not identified the victims or given any specific information about the suspect.